guys, I'm back. It's gonna be a quick eyebrow tutorial. I've gotten a tons of requests for this. I actually have one up, but I do it a little bit differently. I think I put that out probably a year ago, so it's been a minute. And I gotten some requests, like I said, so I thought I would update it. I only changed about 2 things that I do, and you guys will see it and coming up in the video, but I wanted to put this video out specifically because brows are so important. They frame the face, they just can pull your whole look, make or break a makeup look. So this is how I do it. I hope that it is helpful to you guys, and let's get started. And the first step you always want to do is just make sure that your eyebrows are combed out and they're all going in the same direction. So I'm just going to use my little spoolie and just comb all my brows in the same direction, and forgive how they're looking because I always fill them in. I haven't waxed them in almost probably 2 years. It's been a minute. So, but with this technique you don't have to. Okay, now for filling in the eyebrows, there's a lot of different shadows you can use, a lot of different things you can use to fill in your eyebrows. Some people use eyeliner, some people use the eyebrow pencil from MAC. I used to use that a lot, I still do. And some people use eyeshadow. For this tutorial specifically, I'm going to be using eyeshadow. It's great if you have oily skin. You always want to use eyeshadow to fill in your eyebrows. So I ran out of my favorite eyeshadow, which is actually Espresso by MAC. So today we're going to be using Etch, and this is by Smashbox. That's what it looks like, just a really true brown color. Espresso is a bit darker by MAC, so that's what I prefer, but this is what I have, so we're going to use this. But you want to get a brown that doesn't have any red tones in it. You really just want a pure brown. So that's what we're using, and I'm going to be using my 208 angle brush by MAC Cosmetics. I'm just going to get a little bit of that on my brush. I'm going to start filling in. Following the same guideline is my natural eyebrow. I don't want them to be any thicker or thinner today. I'm just gonna fill them into their natural shape. And this doesn't have to be perfect because we are gonna go back in with concealer and clean it up. So you really just want to fill in your brows for the most part. Don't worry if it's not perfect. And I like starting at the bottom and kind of outlining, and then also at the top outlining and then filling in. And this one I fill in a little bit higher than the one over here because I don't have any hair right here. And I want them to match up. Okay, so once our eyebrows are filled in, the hard part is over, and now we're gonna go ahead and freshen them brows up so it can look like we just walked out of the salon, got them waxed and snatched, and we're just popping. So for underneath my eyebrows, we're gonna use 2 concealers, but for the first process, for underneath, I'm going to be using NW30, and this is by MAC Cosmetics Studio Finish Concealer. I'm just going to apply that underneath my brows. I'm going to tell you guys why I'm not applying it on top in just a second. I'm also using my Sedona Lace 561 angle brush. So I'm just going to look up, and I have a mirror underneath me. So I'm just looking down into the mirror, and it really makes it easier to get really close and underneath your eyebrows. Okay, so here is where my eyebrow tutorial takes a different little path. Now, the concealer that I'm going to use on top for my brows is by Prescriptive, and I found this one at a CCO. They do not sell Prescriptives anymore, but as you can see, the concealer is definitely darker than the first one I used. And this one also does not have SPF 35 minutes. The problem that I was having when I take pictures, I get that halo around my top eyebrow that I cannot stand. I hate that. It looks like I didn't blend out my work. It looks like I don't know what I'm doing. So I decided to use this, and voila, it's no more white halo around my eyebrow. So we're going to use a darker color with no SPF in the concealer, and that's what we're going to use to outline the top of our brows. And I'm just using the same brush. Now you're doing is outlining. Okay, so now once we have our eyebrows fully outlined, I'm going to go ahead and take my synthetic brush and just blend out that concealer. You really want to make sure you blend out that concealer to the best of your ability. Alright, and we're almost done. To have your eyebrows looking natural, naturally eyebrows are always thinner in the front and not as thick as the rest of the eyebrows. So I'm going to take my spoolie brush and I'm just going to go ahead and blend down some of that eyeshadow in the front. Okay, and last but not least, we're going to go ahead and take our foundation, and I'm going to apply that right on top of where we placed that concealer, so I can ensure that we don't have that halo. I'm just putting that right on top where we blended it out. And underneath here, I don't really excuse me, I don't really put it underneath here because I like that natural highlight that it gives. But that is it. That's how I fill in my brow. Hope this was helpful to you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.